Right, we lost Anton Yelchin, which is going to put a bit of a downer on Star Trek Beyond, considering he played Chekhov.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed him in everything I've seen him in, and I thought he was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts and prayers out to his family. Hopefully, Star Trek's really good.
Yeah.
And the other movies that come out, so we've got like a lasting legacy.
Hello and welcome to Comic Book Takeout with me, Felix.
And I'm Sean, and we're doing this over the internet, so if it sounds shite, it sounds shite. Sorry.
Such is life. Now you may have noticed it's been a bit of time since our last episode. That's because every time we tried to sit down to film, more news kept coming. It has been a crazy couple of weeks. It really has.
Yeah, it's been mad. I mean, I think it started with like the whole Donald Glover thing sent us into a meltdown.
It's been bonkers, so we're going to try and get through all of it, but bear in mind, we'll probably miss some, but we're going to hit the real big notes, okay? Right, so let's jump straight in. Justice League. We have had barrels of Justice League news. For those of you who aren't aware, Warner Bros. Invited pretty much all the press who hated on Batman vs. Superman to come and see bits of Justice League, to see them filming it. And the verdict is pretty damn good from everyone. People seem happy. So we're going to start breaking down some of the things they revealed and kind of talk about them a bit. So the first big one, it's not going to be a two-parter. It's going to be more like Avengers 1 and 2. It'll be two separate standalone films that do have links, but two standalone films. What do we think?
Okay, that's great. No, I'm excited about that. I'd rather that than part 1 be, Batman forms the Justice League. Part 2, the Justice League rescue Superman. I'd prefer it was just... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice that they're streamlining it.
Yeah,
because it means
also it means we get the standalone films in the middle make sense now.
Yeah, it means they've got a film to prove that this Justice League can work before they bring out the big guns of Darkseid and things. We can see if this is going to work before they just put all the cards on the table and say that's it. That's our big bad. This is our Justice League. Fingers crossed it works. They've got time to fix things if it doesn't.
Exactly. I mean, we're getting Steppenwolf as the villain. I think it's Steppenwolf, isn't it? And we saw him in a bit in the deleted scene in Batman vs Superman. He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, he actually does. That kind of So we know Steppenwolf, as you said, is going to be the main villain. That is fantastic as well. It's nice that we're getting a sort of not a more minor villain, but someone who, if you were choosing your villain for the Justice League film, I don't think very many people would have predicted he was going to be our first big bad for Justice League.
Yeah, considering they're really underusing him in comics. I mean, the only thing I've seen him in comic-wise is, recently anyway, for New 52 was Earth 2. He was a villain very briefly in Earth 2. Like, I mean, 3 or 4 issues, I think.
Yeah, that's made me. He's been getting no love in the comics whatsoever. So it's nice to see him get some love here. And if he looks anything like he did in that deleted scene, he's gonna look fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder who's playing him and whether it's a motion capture type thing.
Yeah, it's a very interesting idea. I wonder, have they cast him already? Are they still looking? I would assume by now he's been cast and we just haven't heard about it. But yeah, it is curious. Will we get a lot of makeup, or are we going to get full guy going around in green suit with those ping pong balls attached?
I hope it's morph suit, personally, because the deleted scenes would be fantastic. The bloopers would be brilliant. Like Batman screaming at a guy in like all green with little ping pong balls on him. It'd be brilliant.
I'd love to see that. Just do that just for the deleted scenes. It's all worth it just for the deleted scenes.
Yeah, completely. I had a thought the other day. A couple weeks ago, we spoke about our fan cast for Green Lantern, and I said Denzel Washington was one of mine. Even though I'm not a big fan of Denzel Washington, there was rumours that he was going to be part of a DC film because he went in for talks. Darkseid.
Ooh, that's nice.
Doesn't, like, the minute you say it, doesn't that just click in place and make sense?
It really does. Because I'm hearing his voice coming out of that mouth, and it commands the power. It does everything you want it to do. That's a voice you could be afraid of.
Well. Yeah, exactly. Denzel Washington, Darkseid. You heard it here first.
Yeah, if that happens,
this is our prediction.
Guys, chance of genius if that happens. But that's brilliant.
Exactly.
Warner Bros, if you're listening and you haven't cast them already, there,
Please.
it's done. It's done. Easy peasy. Of course, speaking of crazy casting, we now know who Willem Dafoe is. Finally.
Yeah, Vulko.
Who? Yeah.
Again, not very well known is Vulko, but he's related to Aquaman. He's Aquaman's advisor.
Yeah.
Again, most recently we saw him in New 52, and he betrays Aquaman.
Yeah, that
in the New 52 storyline.
Mm-hmm. So do you think we'll get some betrayal here in the films?
I hope so, because you don't cast Willem Dafoe to be a good guy. You cast Willem Dafoe to be the likable bad guy.
Mm-hmm. It is very true. It also feels, if he doesn't do any backstabbing or anything, it feels like you're not really using Willem Dafoe to his max, you know.
Exactly. You need
big guy.
He's got a weird face.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah, you've got to have him. He's got to be playing an important role, and Vulko is. He's very second rate. You know, he's someone else in Atlantis. He isn't even one of the other kings. He's just someone else there. So I'm hoping maybe he'll have his time to shine in Aquaman's film, where he'll betray him, and then we'll get some more Dafoe action.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed. Well, they did say, the press did say that they saw a couple new vehicles, and that Batman would have a new suit. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, we've got. I think one's. Oh crap! Hang on. I had the names written down. We're definitely seeing a form of the Batplane.
Yes, there's a Batplaney thing, and there's also a bat. I want to say not a spider pod, but it's got sort of 4 legs, and it's used to traverse sewers and things like that. Which again kind of plays into this finding mother boxes in the sewers, which we'll get onto later. But that
kind of sounds like Justice League War, like the New 52 War story.
Oh, I'm sure when we get to, like, the scenes they've described, it sounds very much like they are doing Justice League War, but with Steppenwolf instead.
Yeah, so the 4-legged vehicle you're talking about is called the Nightcrawler.
No, that's it.
And then the other vehicle would be the Flying Fox, which is basically the Justice League plane.
Mm-hmm.
But not invisible, like Wonder Woman's plane, but yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. More Bat vehicles. Yeah, I thought the Batmobile in Batman vs Superman was alright. It's a little bit weird. It's got machine guns and things mounted to the top, but, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, but what I'm liking about it is we've got this in Batman vs Superman, where there's really angry Batman. What Ben Affleck said is for Justice League, we've got a Batman that's seeking redemption.
Yeah.
He's seeking forgiveness for what he's done.
Yeah, it was nice to even hear Ben Affleck himself say this Batman is looking for redemption. So it's nice that even Warner Bros. Are accepting that violence there was not the ordinary. This was Batman being wrong, and he knows that, and he's trying to redeem himself, which is nice. It means that I'm hoping that this film will sort of rectify some of the sins of Batman vs Superman, in that looking back and we'll be able to go, oh, I see, Batman was totally out of his head. Now he knows that he's better now, as was Superman and everyone. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, we saw a few other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not saw. We were told Flash will be playing a kind of sidekick character to Batman's Affleck.
Mm-hmm.
Affleck's Batman. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me today? He's Batman. That's who Ben Affleck's Batman now. That's it. All right, he's Batman. We're getting this kind of Batman Robin type.
Mm-hmm.
situation, and I think that's really cool, because what we see in newer comics with Batman and the Flash is they're not similar, but they work well together, because they're both scientists, they're both detectives, they're both rooted in their forensics, they're both
Mm-hmm.
rooted in finding out the root cause of an issue, whereas like the other ones like Green Lantern or Superman or Wonder Woman are more punch, talk later.
There's an element of thought to those two, which is nice.
Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, I think so the scenes that we kind of got described with Barry in them really painted a picture of him being, and these are the lines they all used, the Spider-Man of the DC universe. It looks like he's going to be the comedic relief, the slightly younger one who's kind of new to the game. Best way to show this would be to talk about one of the scenes that they did describe, which is Bruce's first meeting with Barry. It sounds like a very humorous scene where Bruce throws a batarang at it, he catches it and goes, "You're Batman?" and then asks if he can keep the batarang. it sounds like it should be a little bit of laugh. Apparently, Ezra Miller is really good as the Flash, which is good to hear as well. Essentially, it's been a lot of positivity coming off the Flash. It really sounds like they've found a way to differentiate him from the TV, but also give him his own life.
You know, I'm really excited. I think it's fantastic. Also, we're going to see a bit of Ray Fisher coming in for Cyborg.
Yes, very exciting. So it really will be the whole League is here right from the beginning.
Apart from Green Lantern.
Apart from Green Lantern, it does. It is a bit weird because it does sound like, because of the other scene they talked about was we see Jim Gordon talking to them about scientists being kidnapped by parademons. Now, you would assume that's a scene that's going to fall pretty early on in the film. So I have a feeling it really will be assemble right into the film. Which,
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so, because another issue with Batman vs Superman is there's a lot of building of things that don't really pay off. So it'd be nice to have films a little more streamlined, a little bit more, the League's been assembled.
Well,
we have a problem.
That's what they said. Is there's a very this movie is very streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to the muddled mess that Batman vs Superman was. Also, I confirmed that Alfred will be returning.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you see the picture of God? What's his name? J.K. Simmons.
Oh, Griffiths.
In the gym.
Wow.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen this, Google J.K. Simmons in the gym. That recently, DC Comics did this thing where Jim Gordon took over as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And J.K. Simmons looks like he's ready to do it. He's in shape. That man is in shape.
Oh, he's more than in shape. He's terrifying. You will see the pictures and you will not believe that it isn't Photoshop. They are real pictures. But apparently, again, people who have seen him on set, apparently he's ripped right out of Batman the Animated Series. Apparently he is spot on that Gordon, which again is brilliant. It really does sound like they're hitting it home.
And also another thing which is weirdly confirmed, this is the cinematic universe for DC, the cinematic bit of it rather than the TV, is Earth 4.
Now this is very interesting, especially because if you watch The Flash, the TV universe, you will know that in that they have introduced 3 Earths. So it is curious, therefore, that this film universe has chosen to take Earth 4. Perhaps, and
it would be what they said is it would be Earth 4 for the TV universe.
Yeah.
But the cinematic universe is Prime.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Which makes sense because the cinematic universe is taking over like the comic universe, and obviously we always see things from Earth Prime's perspective in the comic universe, so it only makes sense that the cinematic universe would be Prime.
It's very interesting, and it keeps open the hope that potentially we get some sort of a crossover. Whether we want that or not,
I hope so.
Different issue. It'd be interesting, but I'm game for it. If they can pull it off, I'm definitely game to see that. It'd be really damn good.
I'm very excited. Talking about different Earths and parallel universes, we've got The Flash confirming that the first episode will be Flashpoint.
Yes, so this is, it's interesting, but it's also uninteresting. We knew we were going to do Flashpoint. It's just a further nice little nod that we are going to get the Flashpoint story arc.
They've basically just confirmed it, which is great.
Yeah.
What I'm worried about is if Flashpoint's happening on Flash, it's not happening on Arrow, because Arrow have cast oh god, who have they cast? Nick.
Arrow have done a whole spree of cast. We'll move on to Arrow afterwards, but you're right. They've cast a lot of people, and it sounds like Arrow is just going to go ahead regardless of what's happened on Flash. Which, you're right, is a huge problem.
That's a major issue. They need to be linked. That's the whole point of the TV universe. But then they'd have to link in Supergirl too.
Yeah, it's a tough one because obviously if you have time travel on this scale, you can't just pretend everything else has gone around as normal.
Exactly.
It's going to be tough. Fingers crossed. The CW have done pretty well thus far in kind of keeping them linked and keeping events crossing over. So we'll have to see. But you're right. If Arrow just continues as normal, we have a massive problem going in.
Yeah, completely. So I'm actually gonna start tweeting showrunners and see if they notice.
Hit them up. Let us know what's happening.
Because what if they just haven't thought about it?
It's, I'm really
what it
hoping.
seems like.
I'm really hoping, but we're gonna have to see. However, Flash itself, Flashpoint, should be very good, especially if Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays Thomas Wayne. Now, he's already expressed a huge interest in doing this. For those of you who don't know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan played Thomas Wayne in Batman vs. Superman.
And also played the comedian in The Watchmen, which is a very relatively in the idea that they're murdering psychopaths, is a very similar character to Thomas Wayne's Batman.
Not only would he fit it, but I really, really, really want to see Flashpoint Batman. And I think if we're getting Superman on Supergirl, something again we'll touch on a bit later, but if we're getting these big characters, why can't we get a Batman? Especially if it's Flashpoint. Because
it's a throwaway couple episodes. You might as well, right?
It would be absolutely brilliant. And also, I was just rereading Batman's sort of little Flashpoint story, and it would be so beautiful to have Martha Wayne as the Joker, because it's a nice way of doing the Joker without doing an incarnation that's going to feel similar to anyone else's approach to it, because it's completely different. It's so
completely
radically different to anything else. So
it's heartbreaking.
It really is. I think seeing that on The Flash, I think it would fit right in, having that beautiful moment at the end. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it, but if you haven't read all of Flashpoint, sit down, give it a read, especially all the little side comics. Really, there were a lot of little strong tie-ins there, but the Batman one is especially good.
I currently don't think it's on the DC website to download anymore. I don't think you can buy it. But get on Amazon, buy it, or be illegal and torrent it.
Yeah.
This guy called Nemesis43, who's fantastic for downloading comics. He's got all of Flashpoint on there. It's about 1.36 gigabytes.
Not bad, not bad.
It's worth it. It is well worth it.
Yes. Find a way, read it. It is absolutely brilliant. But yeah, so back to Arrow and its massive spree of casting, because it's been a bit bonkers. It looks like, it could still be right, but it looks like my theory on Prometheus is wrong. It looks like they've gone even more obscure than that. They really have. They've dug the bottom of the pit. Yes, we've got Wild Dog. Nick Gonzalez will be playing Wild Dog, a new vigilante who comes to Star City, who Arrow has to take under his wing.
It feels very. It feels like they're ripping off Nightwing now.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
There's this really great story arc that Nightwing had in I want to say 2002, maybe 2003, where he takes a character that very similar to Wild Dog in some ways, where they're just kind of like this really brutal fighter, who's actually nicknamed himself Nightwing, as in Nite wing. And he kind of trains him a little bit, and that was my first thought when he said it has to take a vigilante under his wing. It's like a mix between the Nightwing thing or the Batman Azrael partnership.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of interesting, especially because we also found out that Evelyn Sharp, e.g. Artemis, will be back in season 5 with her own identity. For those of you who aren't aware, it's a pretty small character, but last season she was one who came in impersonating Black Canary, and then they said, no, you can't do this, and so she stopped. She will be back with her own identity. But the feeling I'm getting here is, it looks like they've got rid of the old team, and they're just bringing in a brand new team. And I'm curious about that. I don't know why they felt the need to do that.
I'd have preferred it if it was just original Team Arrow, or not even original Team Arrow, just kind of just a new team, but not so many people.
It's
3 people. I'd have preferred it was Roy, Mr. Terrific, and or Arrow. We can't really get rid of him, unfortunately.
It is interesting news. I'm curious to see, but it's not brilliant news. It's not news that's got me, like the Flash's news that had me head over heels excited. It's news that's got me curious. The final piece of casting they did was Chad L. Coleman will be Tobias Church, who looks like he'll be the villain. He will be uniting all of Arrow's enemies against him.
They're kind of making it sound like it's a final season. All of Arrow's enemies.
Yeah. I was thinking about it though. which enemies are we going to get? Who do you think we'll get in this united group of enemies?
Oh, we've got to get Deathstroke.
Oh, yeah, Deathstroke's the big one. We definitely have Deathstroke.
They could introduce in Talia al Ghul.
Yeah, I suppose he killed one of the Al Ghuls. We could have another one come in and take his place. Yeah, that would make sense, actually.
Yeah. Who else? Who else is still alive?
I guess we could get Malcolm, but he's been so flippity-floppity, who knows?
Yeah, I really don't want to see him again, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm done with Malcolm, to be honest. It is strange because when it says all of his villains, there aren't that many memorable ones. I think, Deathstroke is the biggie. He's the one who, yeah, I'm totally getting some more of that.
There's not many alive, is there?
No,
really?
That's what I was thinking. A lot of them have been killed, and I have a horrible feeling that if people have seen Arrow, in one of the kind of close to final episodes, Damien Dark breaks out of prison, and he does so with the help of a lot of kind of previous villains who I'm assuming they were kind of hoping you'd recognize, but you don't. You just see them and you go, oh, you were in an episode once. I have no idea what your name is or what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, so I have a horrible feeling we'll get a lot of these second-rate, one-time villains and Deathstroke. So
I hope we get Count Vertigo.
Yeah, actually, there's a few we could get back. They could twist and say Sebastian Blood isn't dead. We could get that. We don't explicitly see him die.
That's true. I'd rather they didn't do that. But yeah.
It'll be an interesting one. Arrow is the one show out of them all that I'm still a little bit skeptical on. I need to be sold. None of this news has really bought me over yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna start watching it, but I don't think I'm gonna be that into it this year.
Yeah, if it doesn't.
Not that I've been into it for the last 2 years. Really, it's been a bit
sketchy.
Dull.
If this one doesn't come up with a bang, we're gonna be knocked off. But speaking of shows, are gonna be starting with a bang. Legends of Tomorrow. Wow. This is news that has me excited. Vixen will be joining the crew, but not with the same actress we saw in Arrow. It's going to be a slightly older Vixen, which is fantabby, and we're also going to get Citizen Steel. Nick Zano.
Okay.
We'll be playing Dr. Nate.
That's a new one.
Yeah, so we're getting 2 new members of the team. I'm still really fingers crossing for Constantine, as I know you are.
Yeah, I'd love to see Constantine.
I'm really fingers crossing there, but it does sound like we're getting a lot of good casting for that. It's got me very excited that Legends is going to be even more bonkers and bold second season. Obviously we've taken out Vandal Savage, but we need a big baddie for Legends season 2. So what do you think? What villain do you think should take over Legends?
I thought the villain for Legends was themselves.
Ooh, very nice.
That would be interesting. They're fighting against. Didn't Rex Tyler say something like, "I've been sent here by yourself to save yourself"?
Yeah,
something
yeah. He's saying
like
if you get on that ship, you will die, which implies that wherever they were going to go, something, or maybe them. You're right, would have killed them.
Yeah. Maybe Brainiac. I'd love to see Brainiac.
Brainiac would be fantastic, and he could work for the time traveling thing, because you'd have him upgrading throughout the times.
Exactly. Also, Superman's being introduced into Supergirl, so maybe we could get a future Superboy or Superboy Prime, something like that.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of potential that's coming in. It is interesting. The more characters we're getting.
Hopefully a version of Nightwing. That'd be really cool. Not Nightwing as in Batman Nightwing, as in Krypton Nightwing.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I mean, you're right in saying, if we're getting these big players in Supergirl and things like that, I see no reason why we can't just go all in and cast a Nightwing, a Batman. Why not? As long as they're different enough, I don't see a problem anymore. I used to have an issue with it, but if they're just going to do it, why not go the whole hog? Go the whole way.
I'm really excited to see Superman, actually. I want to see if he's better than Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because, I can see why they might be a little bit hesitant to cast another Batman, because, Ben Affleck does kill it. He is really good as Batman. It might be a little bit more sketchy casting a Superman because there's a lot of question about Henry Cavill. We haven't really seen him become that full good Superman yet. And if this...
Yeah, he had 43 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, if Tyler Hoechlin, I'm probably pronouncing his second name wrong, but if he comes in and he's our good Superman, he's already been on Earth for many years, we might have a case where he ends up being the better Superman.
I hope so. I mean, I don't want to say that the TV shows really get their casting and their character interpretations on point, but they are. I mean, Barry Allen is Barry Allen. And so far the movies haven't quite done it yet. So yes, Superman! Oh, I can't wait! I'm so excited. So we got Martian Manhunter, we got Superman, we got the Flash, we got Arrow.
It is weird.
This looks like Justice League to me.
TV series seems to be assembling their Justice League. It's taking them more time.
But we got the
Hawkman. They're assembling it every bit as fast and with a little bit more tact. So it's.
I'm just waiting for them. Oh wait, if they're doing future stuff, maybe Green Lantern.
I'm already excited. They really are. They are knocking it out of the park. It's just nice. It's just nice to see this TV world and the film world both seem to be now going the right direction. I mean, TV was already going the right direction, but it seems like now they are both going the right way. They both are starting to get a grip on these characters, hopefully. So it looks like we could be going for a really strong DC future.
I'm very excited. I think DC have been ruling TV. I mean, all Marvel really have is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Netflix shows.
Yeah. One last piece of Supergirl news.
Netflix shows aren't that great.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, okay, Supergirl.
Oh, yeah. There's one final piece of Supergirl news. Linda Carter, the classic Wonder Woman, will be playing the president. I love it.
Yeah, we get a female president.
I love
which is even more. Wait, is Supergirl in a different world?
Yeah,
a different universe.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one. So Supergirl and obviously incoming Superman are in their own Earth. I'm assuming the CW will want to find a way to cross them over, but it's tough because they'll need to get all of these Supergirl characters and whatnot over to Flash's world. How they do that, I'm not entirely sure. It's going to be tough, but they will. I'm hoping they find a way.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. Also, maybe we can get some Jay Garrick in.
Bring back Garrick. Yeah.
Bring back Garrick.
# bring back Garrick.
By Garrick, I mean John Wesley Shipp's Garrick.
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah. Oh, come on now.
I mean, Zoom's gotten annoying now.
Yeah. The more John Wesley Shipp we get, the better. I'm totally game for that.
Exactly.
God, he's just brilliant.
Here's some exciting news. Two bits of exciting news, actually.
Go.
Donald Glover and Hannibal Burgess have been cast in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Wow.
Now we discussed this. We did discuss this earlier. We did talk about who we think Donald Glover might be. I went with what was it, Venom? I said he could be Eddie Brock, which would be really interesting. Obviously, you're sticking with Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Which is also interesting. Who he also voiced in the animated show, by the way.
It just feels like to me, if you had that internet campaign, that huge push to have Donald Glover as Miles Morales, and then to cast him in Spider-Man, it feels like if you don't use him as Miles, you are almost leading people on, you know. I think he will be in it. I don't think he'll be in it much, but I think we'll get a small cameo or something where he'll say what his name is, and we'll all explode a little bit on the inside, and then we have another Spider-Man set up ready to roll.
I had a thought last night.
Ooh.
So they're doing this whole idea that Spider-Man's a young kid again, right? Homecoming is the story of, in the comics anyway, Homecoming is the story of Eddie Brock and Venom. Well, not Eddie Brock and Venom, it's about Spider-Man and the symbiote, and then it moves on to Eddie Brock and Venom. I actually think that they're just using the title Homecoming because it's Spider-Man coming back to Marvel. So that's what that is. But it's actually not going to have anything to do with Homecoming.
Yeah.
The rumoured villains are the Vulture and the Tinkerer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
so that's nothing to do with Homecoming. I think Donald Glover is either Flash Thompson or I think he's going to be Robbie. Hopefully. Anyway, so we get this slightly... He's older than Peter, but he's Peter's boss type situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it.
The Prowler.
Yeah.
would be an exciting one to do.
Problem is, I really want him as a good guy though. Just because it's Donald Glover.
The Prowler can be a good guy. He's just really kind of nut.
Sad times, sad times. But I think, irregardless of who he plays, it's brilliant casting news. He's excellent, and the more of him, the merrier.
Yeah, I'm very excited. He could also just be Zendaya's character's older brother.
Yeah, he could be someone smaller. I hope not. I hope he's something quite big.
I'm hoping Zendaya's Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Well, she has to be, right? I mean, they just did Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. Obviously, the other small one is Logan Marshall Green is cast. Looks like he'll be Tinkerer. We kind of knew Tinkerer was going to be in it. So it looks like our two main villains will be Tinkerer and Vulture. Perhaps we also get some kind of Venom thrown in there. Either way, it's shaping up to be an interesting cast. I'm
very excited.
Curious. I'm not 100% sold, but I could be. Show me one good trailer and I'm sold.
Let's just glance over Marvel Netflix here. Mm-hmm. Mephisto is going to be the rumored villain.
Yes, it looks
the Defenders TV series.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Marvel's kind of big Defenders TV series on Netflix will be Mephisto, which is actually quite clever if the other rumors are to be believed, that their second wave of shows will be Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and Blade. So the more supernatural things. So I can see why they'd be doing this if he is the villain.
I'd love to see Moon Knight. That'd be amazing. Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually more excited about that second kind of wave of shows rumor than I am about the Mephisto, just because it's cool, but he also feels a little bit.
Nick Cage back.
Yeah, he feels a little bit too big. It's nice that they are all really grounded. So to have the devil essentially be your big villain. Okay, I guess. Great.
Also, I'd be really excited to see Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, and Blade. I love all of those characters.
I'm definitely excited to see them.
I'd love to see Nick Cage come back and do Ghost Rider.
Oh. Well,
a Marvel owned Ghost Rider will be good regardless. But if we get Nick Cage in, wouldn't it be so much better?
Yes, bring Nick Cage in, but our alternative.
But not even as Nick Cage as in the lead. Just do one of the newer Ghost Riders and then bring Johnny Blaze in for like one episode, and he just go like he meets Nick. He's walking down the street and he goes, "Hey, I know you. What's your name?" And then Nick Cage turns around and goes, "Johnny Blaze," and he walks off, and you're like, "Yes."
But are you saying you want to make those films canon? You want to bring them in and say all that Ghost Rider stuff that happened?
I don't think Ghost Rider 1 was that bad.
Yeah, problem is Ghost Rider 2. That happened.
No, it did happen.
Yeah, well, the other rumor for Ghost Rider is obviously Norman Reedus? One of the two. He has
Ghost Rider, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, he's expressed his interest in doing Ghost Rider. Yeah, I totally see it. He could definitely kill that.
It'd be amazing. I'd be really excited to see him.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of quietly fingers crossing we get that.
So yeah, that's Marvel TV, and here's the bit that's gonna break my heart. We recently found out that Batman is gonna have his own VR video game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you told me this. Batman solving the murder of Nightwing.
Yes. It would seem in this VR game they've killed Nightwing.
No.
Now, before you get all emotional, though, one must remember...
No, not Nightwing.
We don't know if this is even part of the Arkham series, if it's something separate, or, really, if Nightwing is dead, or if this is going to twist to the end, he's not dead. We don't know enough, but what we do know is the people who played it have said the mystery you're solving is Nightwing's murder. So, whatever happens, we will have to hear sad stories about Nightwing, which is heartbreaking, because...
Nightwing, man.
Damn.
Why do people keep treating Nightwing like shit? He's amazing.
I know. People are brutalizing that character left, right, and center. Come on, guys.
I mean, after the whole Forever Evil thing, he loses his identity. He loses being Nightwing. He has to become a fucking secret agent, and now he just came back. Stop murdering my baby.
Yeah, just back, and already he's been killed again. It's cold. It's cold.
Nightwing. Poor baby. Poor little Nightwing.
I can feel your sadness.
I'm literally so sad, Felix.
But
So sad.
can we brighten you back up with some other interesting game news? Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah, go for it. Oh god, I've seen the trailer. Looks amazing. Not a big fan of the costume.
Yeah, a lot of throwback on the costume. I actually don't have a problem with it. I think it's fine. But I can see why people are a bit sketchy.
Why not just go for the classic costume?
Yeah, it is a little bit weird and colourful and all over the place, but at the same time, it looks nice. It's nice to have a surprise announcement. That very rarely happens. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Marvel have been
It kind of reminds me of Spider-Man 2.
Yes, very much. It's been very hesitant about whether or not this is going to be part of the Marvel universe. People have been suggesting this might be a later Tom Holland Spider-Man. Marvel haven't.
No, they actually announced it yesterday that it's completely separate.
Oh, they totally cut it off?
Yeah, they completely went, no, this is in no way related to Spider-Man Homecoming. This is a separate Spider-Man story in a separate Spider-Man universe.
Kind of makes me sad. Like, I would have liked to see this be a little continuation of Tom Holland, because we know he's not going to die. We know Tom Holland he's safe for a good number of movies. So, I think it would be pretty cool.
I kind of hope that, like, just at the start of Homecoming, they just straight up murder him, and then Donald Glover takes over.
But I tell you what,
they were like, so this is Peter Parker. Oh no, he died.
All the credit points to Marvel for having the balls to do that if they did that. If halfway through, Peter Parker's just murdered, just boom, out of nowhere.
Yeah, we could just get a giant Green Goblin beating the shit out of him like an Ultimate Spider-Man the comic.
Bring it. Willem Dafoe comes back and just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, they'd be fine. It'd be fine. I'd support it 100%.
I'd watch that. I would definitely watch that.
But they won't do it, which is sad.
Alas, I don't think so.
I know. God damn it.
The final piece of kind of really interesting game news, Injustice Gods Among Us 2. Na-na!
I'm excited for it, but I have no idea how they're going to continue that story.
Yeah, so what they've said about the story so far is that it is a continuation of the one in the first game, and apparently there are certain heroes and elements who would like to see Superman's regime reinstalled. I'm curious to see how this...
Supergirl?
Well, perhaps. I'm curious to see how this is all going to plan out. We already know some of the new characters we're getting are Supergirl, Atrocitus, and Gorilla Grodd. Supergirl, Atrocitus obviously have a bit of a history. Maybe we get to see Supergirl wield a Red Lantern. Gorilla Grodd is an interesting one to kind of spice in there, but I'm happy to see him. It's an interesting throw of characters. How they continue the story, I don't know. But as long as we get another comic book series to accompany it, I am happy. Because Injustice is a brilliant series.
We're on the last few comics of Year 5.
We are right on the edge, and it has...
I think it's last 10 now?
Something like that. It's been ramping up. It really has. It's been getting pretty intense lately.
Yeah. Alfred's dead now.
Yeah, it is.
That made me sad. That made me really sad. Yeah. Superman had him murdered.
It was a punchy moment.
It was brutal.
Yeah, to say the least, that is a comic book that is definitely worth reading because it is one of the most enjoyable sort of Elseworld stories I've read in quite some time. A nice little twist on what you kind of think you know about all these heroes, seeing who would stand with this Superman as he gets corrupted, who would fight against him. It's a really interesting read, and I'm curious to see how they continue it because you're right, it's a tough one to follow.
What I really love about it is just the characterization is so pre-New 52 comic characters. Like it feels great as a comic series. It feels like it flows.
Yeah.
And you can go on to readcomics.net and you can read all of them. They're all on that website.
Mm-hmm. I think that's almost what makes it work so well, is that you can almost buy all the bad things that Superman is doing because it flows so gently. You can follow his logic and you can see how it's escalating. It is brilliant. I've got them all on paperback and it is lovely to have them all. They really are. The artwork is brilliant. I would find them, read them if you haven't already. You don't even need to play the game. Like I say, these are set before the game. So yeah,
I still haven't played the game actually.
Yeah,
Injustice.
No, you don't. Yeah, so you don't need to know the game at all. These are 5 years before. It's a really nice little story. But yeah, I'm curious to see how they continue it. The game itself looks interesting. Little bit more interesting though. Ed Boon, the big old huncho behind Mortal Kombat Injustice, has said that he's very interested in doing some more guest characters. So we might get some more characters from other worlds, other franchises jumping in. And the big one people want is Spawn.
I'd love to see Spawn.
I would love to see Spawn pop into the Injustice world. I think that could be a really nice little twist.
That'd be really cool. I'd really like to see, and this is a bit of a weird one.
Oh, come on then.
Mike Myers.
Ooh.
We've had Freddy Krueger, we've had Jason.
We have. Really, anyone from horror is made into these games. Yeah, I'd love to see Mike Myers in Injustice. Bring out Mike Myers versus Superman. I'd watch that.
I mean, he'd get his ass kicked, but still.
Yeah, I mean, he would get his ass handed to him, but I'd watch it. I'd be curious to see how that goes down. Mike Myers just running at him with a knife, Superman just standing there deflecting all. Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, in comic news, which is what this podcast is supposed to be about, actually not a lot's happened. We've had more Rebirth titles.
Yes.
We have a continuation of the Batman Rebirth story.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good.
Yes, this
good.
Definitely. I mean, we talked about last time our kind of disappointment with the very first Batman Rebirth. This definitely picks up, puts it back on track. It's nice to see that they are going somewhere with this. First one felt a little bit random. It didn't really go anywhere. This one feels like it has a point. It's a little bit nicer.
We also had Titans Rebirth.
Yes.
Where Wally went and met the rest of the Titans. And what I think is the rest of the Rebirth story is going to be told through Titans.
It definitely seems like a huge focus of Rebirth has been on the Titans, and probably will be for a while now.
That's a good thing, because that was one of the major things missing from New 52 was this rich history that the Titans have. So we finally, for the first time in 6 years, we saw the original Titans band together.
Nice.
The only one missing, I think, is Jericho.
Terra,
that's it.
Yeah.
Terra. Yeah. That's the only one missing, but they were second generation Titans anyway, so I think that's okay.
Either way, it is, if any kind of title really shows that DC are going back to what makes it pure, going back to the best, it is Titans. That's showing the best of Rebirth so far.
For the last 5 years, I've been really saying that Marvel have been really on point with their comics. About Rebirth is phenomenal.
Rebirth
DC have really come back. Mm-hmm. They've come back punching.
Yeah. They've come back with a real punch. And actually, to go over to the Marvel side, Civil War 2 is continuing.
Yeah, it's wank.
Yeah. It really is a surprise because, as you know, last time we did this, issue 1 was out. I read it afterwards. I thought, it's interesting. We're going somewhere with this. But to be quite frank, it's fallen. It's fallen very hard. You stop caring for what characters want anymore. The conflict doesn't feel particularly strong. What are your issues with it?
The way I see it is, this guy can see a version of the future, and he directed people to go to this certain area, and he was right. He was correct. And Rhodey died, but that's a risky take as a superhero, isn't it? I mean, Civil War. They didn't do a whole Civil War thing when Johnny Storm.
Yes.
Johnny Storm dies. He sacrifices himself in the negative zone. They didn't do a whole Civil War thing for him, but Rhodey. Rhodey's the one that they draw the line for.
Yeah, it's
War Machine, really.
It is unfortunate, because thus far, if you've been listening to our 3 shows, you probably get the impression that we love DC and we hate Marvel, and the opposite is true. We love both sides, but at the moment in the comics,
Marvel are waning.
Yeah, it's just Civil War 2 is weak, and it's disappointing because going into Civil War 2, I kind of had that horrible fear. I thought, are they just using the Civil War name to sell books, or are we going to get a good story?
Yeah, I think
issue 1 said good story. Everything else has said cheap cash grab. Everything else has said we got to film a Civil War. People are reading the book. Let's put out a second one. But it's just not as good. Do you think people should still be reading it?
Captain, I think we need to read it because it might get good.
Yeah,
but
fingers crossed.
I think Civil War 2 really, what it should have been is Sam Wilson and not Iron Man, because having Iron Man do it again would be disappointing, and that's what they've done, is they've just gone, you know what, Iron Man was kind of the villainy role last time, let's make him the person you root for, because that's what you're doing at the moment, is you've got this grief-stricken man who's lost his best friend, and you feel for him, and you go, yeah, you know what, he's sad, yeah, okay, Tony, we're on your side here. And then we've got Captain Marvel on the other side, who really, considering she just lost the man that she loves, really doesn't seem repentant in any way, shape or form.
Yeah, I think that's one of the other issues with it. See, in the original Civil War, you can see both sides of it, and you're torn.
Yeah, you can't really see Captain Marvel's side in this one. You got Rhodey killed. That's what's made Tony angry. Apologize.
Yeah, and you're right. She's just lost the man she loves, and she seems to not care at all. She's heartless, and you just don't feel for her.
Also, a really great thing about Civil War is you got the emotional backbone of Civil War was Spider-Man, and you don't really have an emotional backbone with this.
Yeah.
Civil War 2 seems like it's badly thought out, but I'm still hooked into it because I'm interested to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'll probably do the same. I will probably end up reading it, but it needs to get better fast. It needs to up its ante. I need to start feeling for Captain Marvel if it wants to keep my interest.
Yeah, not yet anyway. Hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah, we might get some redemption. Civil War 2 wraps up in October, doesn't it? We've still got a little bit of time before it all ties up.
Yeah, it could still start moving quickly. It could go apeshit.
Yeah, you're right. It could go down further, or it could redeem itself. We are fingers crossed for redeem, most definitely.
So I think that's everything on our list to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Alright, thank you for listening to Comic Book Takeout. My name's Sean.
And I'm Felix. Remember to like, subscribe, share if you enjoyed.
And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your 2 weeks. See you in a bit. Bye.